Good evening and welcome to the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education meeting this October 27, 2025. Ms. Kirk, can we get a call to order and roll call?
Ms. Calderon? Here. Ms. Guzman? Mrs. Wong?
Here.
Ms. Keller? Mrs. Martin?
Here.
Mr. Stankus?
Here.
Ms. Steffens?
Present.
Mr. Weaver? Mrs. Varghese?
Here. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by mailing copies of said notice to the record, filing copies of said notice with the municipal clerks of Hillsdale, Montvale, Rivervale, and Woodcliff Lake, and publishing said notice in the record on July 2nd, 2025. For routine matters, first we have the interim superintendent's report by Mr. Dirk Phillips.
Thank you. On October 6th through 10th, it was a week of respect. Both schools had daily thematic events throughout the week. On October 12th was the first day of our beloved community series. In the morning, when the students were in attendance, the teachers focused on relationship building to foster a positive classroom culture and climate. The afternoon sessions were an opportunity for the staff to create stronger bonds. There were small group community building activities such as like a mini escape room that was going on. There were small, and that was followed up by faculty-led activities. By the end of the afternoon, it was nice to see all the faculty leaving with smiles on their face. I want to thank Dr. Russo and his team for organizing such a successful, enjoyable day. We're coming to the end of the regular fall season for our athletic teams. I want to congratulate them all on their successes this season and wish those teams that are competing in the playoffs the best of luck. We have three really significant construction projects that are going on. They're not advancing as quickly as we hoped, and anyone who has had home construction can understand how frustrating that can be. You hope for the best, but that always doesn't work out the way you want. Our milestone project, which is our program for our 18 to 21-year-olds, we're just facing some delays and some more paperwork delays, dealing with some red tape as we're working with the town, trying to get everything as far as permits are concerned. At Pascack Valley High School, our kitchen and cafeteria HVAC project is close to being completed. We're just trying to push them through the finish line and getting that project done. Our auditorium construction is advancing. We're actually having a meeting tomorrow, making sure that we're aligning everyone's expectation as far as that project is concerned. I'm happy to announce that the New Jersey Department of Education has announced that the graduation assessment requirements for the class of 2026 has finally been released. The current seniors who have not passed the NJ GPA will be allowed to use secondary assessments such as the PSATs, SATs, and ACTs. This has been a past practice of the state. Typically, we would hear from the state that this would continue, usually in late spring, early summer. We just heard from them about 2 weeks ago that this current senior class would be allowed to use those exams, so we're happy to hear that. We are looking at the 26-27 district calendar. It's on this agenda. It's, for the most part, is similar to the past calendars as far as holidays and school breaks are concerned. And I just want to remind everyone, November is right around the corner, and it's always it seems to be a short month. That first week of November is extremely short. The district will be administering the field test for the NJ GPA and NJ SLA adaptive test, and that will be administrating that on Monday and Wednesday that week. On Tuesday, we will be closed for Election Day, and on Thursday and Friday will be closed for the NJEA Teacher Convention. I just want to remind everyone that on November 2nd, it's Election Day, and it's a governor's race, which will have a significant impact on education, so I want to encourage everyone to exercise their right to vote. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. Next, I will report on the steering committee for our superintendent search. So we have started to accept applications for our superintendent search, and the entire board has access to the resumes. So we're looking at what would be who would be the best candidate. We're already looking through the resumes, and the date for the last day for applying is November 14th, November 14th. So there's still plenty of time to apply for this wonderful position, and we hope everyone who has a thought of applying will apply. The community surveys will go out this week. Next, we have the Finance Committee report by Mrs. Kristen Martin.
Hello, thank you. We did meet again on October 7th at the board office. All members were present from our team. We are having ongoing conversations about some topics related to the finance. Region 2 was one of the big topics that we spoke about. We have about 60 to 90 staff members involved. We're discussing lease costs, host fees, retirement plans, and all of those impacts and how we have impacts on shared resources. We also spoke at length about the Park Academy and current projections for lease agreements and renewals of our place in Emerson. And then again, as all districts have been discussing, the increase in health insurance. We did get some updates on the impact it would have in budgeting, and some plans that are underway to try to deal with that. And then we, for a brief time, talked about, again, a calendar for the budget review, again, for the 2026-27 budget. And thank you so much for Ms. Kirk for all of her wonderful planning and very organized. So our meeting was very effective, and we appreciate you. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mrs. Martin. Next, we have the Curriculum and Technology Committee report from October 14th by Ms. Deborah Stephens.
Hi.
They can't hear you at home, so maybe it's just
Really?
because it's, yeah.
Too much feedback.
Now try that.
Can you can't hear me? No? Okay, go. Okay. All right, this was the committee report for the Curriculum and Technology Committee, a meeting. We had it on October 14th. All of us were in attendance that night. We talked about the district goals, technology plan, we had grant updates, including the AI grant, climate change education, and just briefly wanted to talk about some of our goals, which are to empower our students to take ownership of their coursework by developing and applying effective study habits, organizational skills, and active engagement with learning. That includes us utilizing our study skills classes to intervene with some of our struggling students, cultivating a learning environment where technology is purposefully integrated to enhance teaching, learning, empowering students with the digital literacy and self-regulation skills for responsible use. We are currently evaluating our technology in the classroom to see whether it is enhancing instruction. And we're going to be using the grant funding, the AI grant funding, to create resources, add lessons to media and librarian specialists. Another district goal that we have is to foster a schools culture and climate that promotes engaging and purposeful learning, strengthening interpersonal skills, and promoting a community of mutual respect and understanding. One of the action items, just for an example, is to continue our beloved community activity, Martin Luther King Day. Our next upcoming meeting is January 15th, 2025. If you have any questions in regards to it, please let me know.
Thank you, Mrs. Steffens. Next, we have the Policy Committee report for October 16th, 2025, by Mr. James Stinkus.
Good evening, everyone. This was a very short meeting. It had to do with the personal electronic devices. And basically, we had the meeting to just update the language. There was nothing really changed on the policy. We had some language there where it said recording devices, and we all know nowadays everything's all in one, so it's just basically keeping up to date. And that was about it. If anybody has any questions. That was it. One item. Oh, well, it was a one-item thing, the one before that.
Thank you, Mr. Stankus. Next, I will give the Governance Committee report. We just had the Governance Committee meeting before our board meeting, and the first thing we talked about was the different committees that we have. So we have a lot of committees, and what we're going to do, our thought for the upcoming year, is to consolidate these committees to make it more efficient and make it so that we don't have as many people in all these different spots. So we're going to consolidate that come January. The next thing we talked about was looking at changing the board meetings to Tuesday evenings. Because we all read the agendas on Sundays, or if we're very good, we will read it before, but oftentimes there's questions that come along on Monday, and it's very hard to address those questions before a meeting. And so if we all end up reading on Sunday, then we have Monday for the administration, for the superintendent to be able to answer these questions, and in fairness to the board, that we are able to ask these questions, and it's not like, well, it's, we're a couple hours away from the meeting. So we are looking into changing those meetings to Tuesdays. Does anyone have any? Yes, Mrs. Martin.
Hi. I just want to make sure we go back to our local communities, because the reason I believe, the understanding was the reason we did Mondays was in order to coordinate with town council meetings and our sending district board meetings, so we don't have conflicts. So I do want to make sure that community members have an opportunity to attend their council meetings as well as their Hillsdale meeting, if they want to also then come to the Pascack Valley Regional meeting. So I would just want to make sure we kind of keep that into consideration.
Do we know if any other towns have meetings on Mondays?
Yes.
Yes.
Woodcliff
Woodcliff
is
Lake
on the
has
same day as
Mondays.
Monday, so we can never go to the council.
Yeah, so I think if we're looking at 4 days out of the week, we have 4 different districts.
Well, if everybody else has Monday, so that's actually good to move Tuesday. I'm worried about the town council meetings now.
I think
Ours are Tuesdays too.
First Thursday.
Ours are Thursdays.
Tuesdays, Thursdays, I feel like between the, so we should probably just look at, when we look at calendars, like I would try to keep that in
Okay,
consideration,
that's
because that's
very-
also as a member, I like to
Yeah,
go to those
100%,
meetings.
that's a valid point. So, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Whatever, I just something to keep in mind.
It just
Yeah.
might, none of us definitely, as much as we love being on the board, Fridays are not something that anyone really wants to do, in the evening, but even Thursdays sort of, there's things that happen, so, Tuesday or Wednesday,
Right.
let's look at, but
And
definitely.
Like I said, if we could do alternating, just look at what the town's doing too, just to try to
Oh
take.
gosh, now we have to look at the days of the week and decide,
I don't know.
try to remember what days are gonna be here, okay, all right.
I know we try to coordinate the best we can with Hillsdale, Montvale, Woodcliff Lake, and Rivervale. So we have in the past, because we've had by parent request, parents have come into meetings and said that there was conflicts. And I remember addressing that, saying we do look at that when we do the schedule, but we can't always accommodate because of holidays and.
Okay,
Yeah, parents that have children in multiple schools.
Yep.
It's always an issue.
Yeah.
okay,
Sounds good.
we'll keep that in mind. Any other discussion, comments? Okay, next we discussed staff recognition, and we came up with some ways to sort of, make it a little more meaningful. So whether it's changing just the structure of how we do it, or whether it's recognizing staff through a completely different way, we did talk about that, and, it's something that we're gonna continue to talk about to make it a little more, it's a lot to read, you know, everything, and not that we don't love recognizing our staff, it's just we're looking at being a little more efficient with that. The next thing that we talked about was the calendar. So, the 2026-2027 calendar, is on the agenda for today to be, approved with now 9, late start days for the school year for 2026-2027. So we're not talking about this school year that we're in, we're talking about the next year. And so we would go from 7 to 9, and there's 2 additional, professional development mornings for staff. So there was a question brought up about whether, is that really sort of something that we want to do? Is it in the best interest of the students? So I think we need to have a discussion about that, because there are different views on that. Say it again?
Can we do discussion first?
Well, we have to wait for the, come up on the agenda.
Oh, we could wait for it to come up on the agenda, but just that's part of what we talked about. So just keep that in mind when we get to policy, that's one of the things we will talk about. And that's it.
Can I ask a question about staff recognition too? I'm sorry, I'm pushing about everything today. So with the staff recognition, I absolutely love what you guys do with how we make that a priority, and I think it always should be. My disappointment is that so many teachers can't make it. So I would love to find a way that if it was right after school, because I know people go home and they have children and lives, and, you know, sometimes they have to give up that opportunity to be recognized. So I don't know if there's a way we can recognize where we would have a higher participation of faculty. That's just disappointing to me when they can't get here.
Yeah, so that was definitely a large part of our conversation, that for whatever reason it is, we don't see as many of the staff as we'd like to see. So whether it's maybe doing it in a different form of recognition, or changing things up the way that we do it a little bit now, we discussed that, so we're just trying to come up with, but that's I mean, I don't know how realistic doing, like, I guess it wouldn't have to be in front of the board, so that's just
Right, yeah,
things that we're
yeah.
looking at.
Because I love that you guys, I love that gets done.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen in most districts, so I do think
It is a
they're
great
very deserving here, so.
Yeah. Next, we have the PFA event, and that report is going to be given by Mrs. Stephanie Klein.
I was lucky enough to attend on the first day of school at Pascack Hills, and I'm really curious how this has affected you guys, because you're talking after this. It's 2 months ago, but on the first day of school, Jordan Toma was invited to speak to the, it was only for the freshman and the sophomore, and I know that. Oh, sorry, okay, I'm gonna report on it anyway. Principal Tim Whelan and Jen Charno of the Parent Academy teamed up to invite Jordan Toma to speak to the freshmen and sophomores on the first day of school, August 28th. He grew up in New Jersey, specifically in East Hanover, and now he goes all over the country speaking on the struggles that he had as a student with dyslexia, ADHD, and he has a book that's titled, I'm Just a Kid with an IEP. And it was actually phenomenal, and that's why I'm taking these few minutes to share about it, because he has success now, even though he had those struggles in high school. And I'll just share this, the top few things that I learned from his speaking at the assembly. Your struggle is your strength. You need one person to believe in you. And right now is not forever. And we all struggle with something. And we don't want anyone to know that we're struggling, but we have to keep in mind that we all take a different pace to wind up, so keep showing up. Getting everything right doesn't change you. It is the struggle that got you there that matters. The person who believed in Jordan himself was his mom. And this is his saying, that those who believe in you are going to keep believing in you until you start believing in yourself. And you can't judge a person just by purely what you see on paper. And you're just one moment away at changing the rest of your life. That's it. Isn't that beautiful?
That was very beautiful, thank you. That was my favorite report.
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Wang. Next, we have the student reports, and we have the first one by Stephanie Young of Pascack Hills High School.
I would first like to introduce some of the classroom items this month. October was a busy month for field trips, where students learned in numerous settings beyond the average classroom. In collaboration with Pascack Valley and Pascack Hills Chinese language classes and the Asian Culture Club here at Hills, students traveled to Chinatown to participate in their annual scavenger hunt, hosted by Mrs. Ying, the ACC advisor, and Chinese teachers Mr. O'Neill and Mrs. Yao. Participants tried various food, fun activities, and explored New York City. For my second classroom item, AP Environmental Science students took a field trip to the Hudson River. Organized by Mrs. Mack, students gathered samples of the quality of river water based on tests they had conducted. In addition, they were able to walk through the rivers with waders, use nets, and bring back numerous sea animals, including crabs, fishes, and eels. During this experience, friendly fishermen guided them to complete trials, test the rate of water, and master the art of fishing. On October 22nd, 2025, the photography classes at Pascack Hills organized a field trip where students practice their art, honing their photography skills at Grounds for Sculpture. Organized by the art department, this sculpture garden in Hamilton, New Jersey was filled with statues, wildlife such as peacocks, and beautiful landscapes. Students were encouraged to venture outdoor and view the art from well-known artists as they browsed and photographed some of these pieces. Overall, this opportunity gave students an escape to appreciate nature and abstract art crafts. Now I'll be moving on to co-curricular activities. Advised by Dr. Maya, the Pascack Hills Medical Club has entered the school year with several opportunities for students to explore their health inquiries. Earlier this month, students volunteered with the Chestnut Ridge Pediatrics Flu Shot Clinics and Dorchester Elementary School's Trunk or Treat event, playing the Operation game and handing out treats to young children. In addition, the Med Club was excited to welcome Dr. Dawn Wolpall to Hills to share her experience as a radiologist and discuss breast cancer detection in light of Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For my next co-curricular item, the marching band concluded their season with a whirlwind weekend, starting with senior night and middle school night on Friday, October 17th. With 25 middle school instrumentalists from Fieldstone and Wycliffe Lake middle schools, they played the national anthem and on the field. They played the national anthem on the field and performed stand tunes during the game. It was an exciting night celebrating the graduating seniors and welcoming the next generation of marching Broncos. The following day, the band competed in their final competition of the season at the NJMEA State Ratings Festival at Wayne Hills High School. The band performed their show entitled The New England Demons, earning them the highest scores for the season and bringing home a silver rating. With the Montville tree lighting on December 5th, the band will continue to perform at schools and town events. Project Patterson had had a great start to the school year. They were able to visit the community charter school of Patterson to help out with their after-school program, and all the students who attended had a blast. They also collected 9 boxes of supplies to support the School One Trick or Treat. Goodies will be distributed by the teachers in Patterson on Halloween, and the teachers at the School One were so appreciative of their generosity. Additional trips have been scheduled during November, and they are really looking forward to their annual tour drive in December. And as always, they want to express their continued gratitude to the Pascack Hills community. I'll be transitioning to the Pascack Hills athletics. On Saturday, October 4th, 2025, Pascack Hills High School welcomed back alumni for its inaugural homecoming football game and Athletic Hall of Fame ceremony. In this event, the Broncos faced off against Dwight Morrow High School, ultimately securing a 29-14 victory. The game served as an accumulation of community activities such as food trucks and merchandise sales. Guests were dressed up in Western attire, expressing their school spirit. For the week of October 6, 2025 to October 10, 2025, volleyball players Melise Tur and football player Jake Brew were bestowed Pascack Hills Athletes of the Week. In addition, Jake Brew was nominated for North Jersey's Football Player of the Week after running 160 yards and scoring 3 touchdowns in the Broncos' 42-7 win over Dover. Coming to an end, the Pascack Hills girls tennis team, led by Coach Gans, ended their season off as the tournament's North Jersey Section 1 Group 1 finals after losing to the undefeated Glenrock girls tennis team. In their final match against Indian Hills, the girls won 5-0, ending their season off with a 12-6 record. For my joke of the day, why don't ghosts like rain? It dampens their spirits. That concludes my report to the Board of Education for October 2025.
Thank you, Stephanie. Next, we have the student report by Madeline Wu of Pascack Valley High School.
This is the Valley Monthly Student Report for October 2025. Starting with classroom items, classroom item number 1. Ms. Mathias' U.S. History 1 students went to the Hawthorne Movie Theater on October 3rd to watch the re-release of the Hamilton musical. We had the whole theater to ourselves. Students were able to learn more about Alexander Hamilton's personal life and struggles, as well as his politics that are traditionally learned in the classroom. It was a fun learning experience for all involved. Classroom item number 2, the Religion in America elective and Architecture electives visited the BAPS Hindu Temple in Martinsville, New Jersey. The religion class observed the traditional Hindu puja and toured the beautiful campus. PBTV covered the trip during the latest episode, so be sure to check out the segment. Special thanks to the PFO who gave us the funds to be able to afford the bus costs. And we're hoping to make this trip a tradition in both classes in the future. Classroom item number 3. As a way to commemorate the creation of the Honors Chamber Choir, Pascack Valley hosted a talent show called Spotlight on Broadway in the school's cafeteria on October 9th. This event featured several honor choir, chamber choir, and concert choir students performing their favorite Broadway numbers. A highlight of the night was the several talented freshmen mentored by our honor students performed. It was a night filled with fun and everyone's appreciation for the new addition to the PV music department. The event was featured on PVTV and in an upcoming article in the Valley Echo. Moving on to co-curricular items. Co-curricular item number 1, the PV Environmental Club did a Sapdanza garden cleanup in September. The club also upcycled costumes at Meadowbrook Elementary School's Harvest Fest. For co-curricular item number 2, the Interact Club held 2 successful events, a food drive to support local families in need, and a bake sale that raised funds for future projects. These activities highlight the club's mission to engage in meaningful service, develop leadership skills, and foster a commitment to our model self-above service. For co-curricular item number 3, the most anticipated show of the year, PV Choir's annual Halloween Talent Night, will take place this coming Thursday, October 30th. This event is always a community favorite. Me personally, I always like to watch on YouTube, featuring a costume contest and talent from all grades, even from our staff. This year, for the first time in PV history, there will be a haunted house, so make sure to come in early and check that out. The show will start at 7 p.m. and there will be refreshments sold. There will also be a Halloween costume contest, so don't miss out. Tickets for this fun event are $5 in advance and $8 at the door. Co-curricular item number 4, the PV Music Department's trip to Hawaii was recently board approved, and the students cannot be more excited. To raise money for various costs of the trip, a Snap Raise fundraiser began on October 13th. It has been highly successful, raising over $7,000 in just 2 weeks. There are still 3 weeks left to donate to reach the department's $10,000 goal. Our students really appreciate any contributions made to support this incredible opportunity. Moving on to athletic items. Athletic item number 1, the PV Regional High School dance team held a car wash in mid-September, donating a portion of its proceeds to the charity Autism Speaks. They further supported the organization by volunteering at the Autism Speaks Walk on September 20th at the Meadowlands Racetrack, where they cheered on walkers and performed a dance routine. For my fun fact, the Executive Council hosted Valley Cup number 1 with many entertaining events, highlighted by a volleyball tournament and a relay. In November, the Executive Council will host a fundraiser for Home for Our Troops in honor of Veterans Day. We look forward to supporting this wonderful cause. And because I missed my joke last week, I have one this week. What kind of music do mommies listen to? Rap music.
Thank you, Maddie. Next, we have the minutes for September 25th, 2025, and September, that's the special meeting, and then September 29th for the regular meeting. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Kerr?
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman? Abstain. Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stankus?
Yes.
Ms. Steffen?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, we have comments from the public. Citizens are invited to make comments regarding agenda items and are limited to 3 minutes. According to the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education Policy Number 0167. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, sign in, and state their name, town of residence, and which agenda item they are referencing.
Can we get an exception for the agenda item? We have a student here to talk about some greatness happening in the school.
Sure.
Just in case she has schoolwork to do or something.
Yes, go
I
ahead.
hate to make them wait if we're gonna be long.
Hello, everyone. It's that time of year again. I'm back to invite you all to come see the Pascack Hills Players Fall Show, Radium Girls. Yay. This show is the first half of our 60th season as the Pascack Hills Players by name. Hooray also. The show dates are November 14th through the 16th. November 16th is a 2 p.m. show. Every other night is at 7 p.m. I have a poster here that I will leave for you all with a QR code for tickets, as well as the URL for our super cool new website, PascackHillsPlayers.com. But later this evening, you will get an email with your discount code for your free ticket. As you all know, this is something new we've been doing because since last year we switched over to Ludus, which is the same platform that we used last year. So it allows you to buy tickets with your family members and still only get, unfortunately, your one free ticket. But you know, we can only do so much. So I really hope to see you all there. I will be wandering around the lobby, so please make sure to say hello. I would love to say hi and be that friendly face that's always annoying you about some other thing theater related. So thank you all so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You can give it to me. Thank you so much. Okay, whoever wants the QR code, it's here with me. Anyone else to speak today on any agenda items? Okay, seeing as how there's no one, next we will move to policy, for which there are 5 consent agenda items. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Okay, discussion. So we are looking at the 2026-2027 school calendar, and on there is 2 extra days for professional development, not days, not full days, mornings that are going to be delayed opening for students where the staff will have 2 hours each of those 2 days to spend during professional development. I know there was some discussion before, so I'd like to invite everyone to give me their thoughts and talk about the professional development.
Okay, so I don't know if we could table this because I know Mr. Russo had sent me some more information because I had requested some information regarding agenda items for these meetings so that we kind of have a better idea of why the frequency of the meetings are escalating or increasing each year. I also kind of want to take a look at, it seems that there are 4 staff full-day development days in their calendar, but they're actually being used, 2 days obviously for startup, 1 day for freshman orientation, and then one for the most amazing Martin Luther King that we never want to mess with, day. But I think that maybe it would be worthwhile to just all have an opportunity to look at Mr. Russo's allocation of those times. Because it just seems like it's a lot of so, to be honest with you, I guess my concern is when they do that, the kids still have lunch. So they come into school, and from what my daughter had explained to me, they're very, very shortened classes. So because they're so short, she said that generally nothing happened on those days. So now if we're increasing to 9 of these days, it's more lost instruction time. And in addition to the fact that I know in the past, and I don't know how this is gonna be affected with the new NJSLA adaptive testing, but I know those days impacted when kids entered school, depending on who had to do testing, those were more reduced days. I know we did some of the midterm final kind of things, that there were some changes in schedules. I just want to take a bigger look at how many days the kids are not in for a full day before we start increasing the amount of professional development days.
So I think what we can do, because the 2 added days onto this calendar are October 5th and January 11th. And those are for, college recommendations for teachers to be able to do that, and then for course recommendations for the next year. Those are the 2 that would be added. I mean, we can approve the calendar without those 2 extra days. So, because if we look at the benefit of, as you said, the classes are shorter times. Sometimes students actually have tests during that time, and it's lesser time to take a test. So we did talk about that in governance. Does anyone else have from governance anything else to say?
I mean, I just have some information that I kind of pulled together. Back in, just because I have some ideas with my son who started PV, there were none of these shortened days. And when they first initiated them, I'm like, this is ingenious, I love it. And it started off in 2017-18 year that there were 3 noted that they were late arrivals. And that continued for a couple of years, obviously were canceled during COVID. But then after COVID, it went from 5 days to 5 days to 5 to 7 to 7 and now 9. So I think that we just kept adding them without kind of getting real explanations of why they were being added. So I did request some information about what is being used. Do we want to discuss that now or no? And I guess, I think it's important for people to know if we're doing this, what the teachers are doing during that time.
No, 100%. I agree with you. I think if it's sort of like trickling, it turns into a bigger trickle, a bigger drop, whatever. So I agree with what you're saying. I think that, so I don't necessarily know that we have to table the whole calendar. We can table those 2 extra days that were put out there for this particular calendar for next year. And we can decide to just approve the calendar without those 2 extra days, because I agree with what you're saying, that yes, it adds up to time. And it is, whether we wanna think that or not, the 2 hours is a disruption for students. I know students wanna sleep, I get it, guys, I do, but at the same time, then you're rushing through classes and you're really not getting much out of that day. And our job is to make sure that you're getting the most out of school time. So, Deb, were you gonna say something?
No, I think we said it. I think that we can strike a balance here between the student,
Yeah, there's a lot of feedback on that, so yeah.
I think that we're trying to strike a balance between the students and the teachers, and I think by keeping it what it was in the prior year, and then maybe looking into it some more without disrupting, and moving forward with the calendar, if that's the most efficient way of doing them. Will you just take out October 5th and October 11th and then
January 11th.
Excuse me, yes, January 11th, and approve the rest of the calendar.
I think the whole point is we are here for students' education, and that's what we want. We definitely want professional development for our staff, but balance is, I think, the word. Does anyone else have any other thoughts, Stephanie?
Well, can Kristen just finish that sentence? You were saying how, I just wanted to finish that thought.
I asked Mr. Russo to, Dr. Russo, I apologize, Dr. Russo, and he gave me a lot of really specific objectives. So I think it's important for us to understand that these are valuable. It's not like they're just coming in late. The teachers aren't coming in late. The teachers are here doing development. I get concerned that we're adding them. So I feel like if we can, I think 7's still excessive, but if we're gonna approve 7, that's up to everybody else to decide. I think it's important for maybe everybody if I could share this out with the whole board, or Dr. Russo can share with the whole board, so everybody has an idea of what they're using these days for. Because some of it's like data analysis, like real important stuff that's going to inform instruction. And then, like you're saying, the ones that they're adding, because a lot of the same teachers are being requested to do additional work, like writing letters of recommendation for students for college. And I don't know if every teacher is impacted equally. I'm sure certain departments get a little bit more, little more in the area of requests for those kind of things. So I understand why they're adding them. I just don't know if there's some way we can manipulate and reduce this as much as possible.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that we as a board do not undervalue professional development. We feel that it is absolutely necessary, and we can't have the great staff that we do without having professional development. Our job is to just make sure, again, that that's balanced out with our students getting the most amount of time and beneficial time that they can get from the days that we're looking at in the calendar. So I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, we can say approve without October 5th and January 11th.
Yeah, you can, you would make a,
Can I,
you would make a motion to amend the calendar, and then a motion to approve the amended calendar.
as far as, making a motion to either go forward or take away the 2 days, I feel that, maybe it should be tabled, and maybe Dr. Russo should have, time here in front of us to explain all the nuances of it, because I'm seeing the 12th is a half day, and there's professional development on the 12th as well, and that's 1 week later after the 5th. So I do have a lot more questions than, and I think he would, it would be fair to have him come in and explain.
Some of
Oh,
them,
I see.
sometimes the
Yeah.
kids leave early and the teachers stay.
Right.
Yeah, so there's those days too.
So, I mean, he should, it's fair, give him an opportunity.
Is there a time constraint for us to approve the calendar?
No, I believe last year you guys approved the calendar pretty late. The sending districts, they will wait for our district to approve it before they approve theirs.
Okay.
So, if, but
Could we approve the calendar without professional development, so at least they'll know the holidays? Because that's what the other districts want to work around. We can do that. I'm comfortable with that, and then we
still
can,
deal with half days though, and you have.
they're not doing the half days at the sending district.
well,
so that's
our
not-
next board meeting is November 17th. I don't think waiting 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks is enough. Put
So
anything
let's
into
table
it.
it.
Okay.
Let's table it.
Very easy.
Okay, so we are going to, can I get a motion to table the school calendar?
I can make a motion to table this.
Okay,
I'll second.
second, okay. So we will have 4 consent agenda items, starting from number 2, 3, 4, 5. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Mrs. Curry.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
This is a motion to table, right? It's not the approval of the others yet.
This
Correct.
is a move.
The
No.
table.
Did I
no,
mess
no.
it up?
And then we'll-
I could have messed it up.
And then we'll make the motion for the approval of
So
others.
this is, let's rewind.
Okay.
Let's rewind.
To
Motion to table. So first, we're gonna do the motion to table number 1 under policy. I apologize for messing that up, everyone. Thank you.
Wasn't a catch.
It was a catch, Mr. Stankus, thank you.
No,
Did we get everybody or no?
It was on me.
Can we just start over?
okay.
Let's just start over, just to be, for clarity purposes. We are going to now vote yes or no to table number 1.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
Yes.
Ms. Stephens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, can I please get a motion to approve the consent agenda items 2 through 5 under policy?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Curry.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
Yes.
Ms. Stephens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, we have education, for which we have 3 consent agenda items. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Curry.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
Yes.
Ms. Stephens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, we have human resources, for which we have 19 consent agenda items. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Kerr?
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
Yes.
Ms. Stephens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, we have finance, for which we have 23 consent agenda items. Can I get a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mrs. Kerr?
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman?
Yes.
Mrs. Wong?
Yes.
Ms. Keller?
Yes.
Mrs. Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Stenkus?
Yes.
Ms. Stephens?
Yes.
Mrs. Varghese?
Yes. Next, we have old business. Anything to discuss in old business? Next, we have new business.
I just, one question about the, just for, this is coming up a lot in the community now with the NJSLA, the adaptive version, for the fall assessment, and I just want, I told a couple people this, I wanna make sure I have it accurate, because this is what I'm being told, that the fall version, we are not getting back scores, nothing will be distributed, this is just for a pilot program for testing purposes, correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Any other new business? Mrs. Swan?
It just went to the New Jersey School Board Association Convention in Atlantic City. There were 7 of us, not board members, but 7 department heads. And I just wanted to highlight like a few things. The New Jersey commissioner shared that New Jersey is overall ranked first at US News and World Report. And New Jersey is ranked 3rd in public schools according to Wallet Hub. and 4th in public education by Consumer Affairs. One major topic that was discussed there was AI. How artificial intelligence is a dominant topic because it's a tool that the schools are embracing, and there is concern for the students' use and the teacher integration, and the teachers are learning how to incorporate it in the classroom and how to detect when students might be using it in place of writing, like ChatGPT. But they see the advantage and how to learn from it. So something we have to embrace. So their teachers are gonna maybe adjust by making some assignments during class. Okay, and one highlighted school was North Bergen High School presented data from their past 10 years. So within their public high school, they've created a STEM academy. So instead of their students testing into their magnet school, like for Pascack Hills and Pascack Valley, we test into Bergen Academies, they've created a system in the last 10 years where 10 years ago, the superintendent said, hey, how can we advance our STEM classes, science, math, reading, to encourage the students to stay in their public high school instead of going out to these other schools. And they shared this 10-year data, and it was fantastic. It was great that, like Dr. Malia was our Teacher of the Year for science, and so with some of that information, I've passed it on to our new curriculum director, Dr. Mark Russo, to take a look at what their curriculum has. And they've strengthened their tracks to be more competitive with those kind of academies. And that's all I was gonna share. And we had a good time. We learned a lot. It's really great every year.
Yeah, it is great. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Any other new business? Next, we have comments from the public. Citizens are invited to make comments and are limited to 3 minutes according to the Pascack Valley Regional High School District Board of Education Policy Number 0167. Persons wishing to speak must, upon being recognized, rise, sign in, and state their name and town of residence. Would anyone like to speak? No. Okay. Seeing as how there is no one to speak, can I get a motion to enter into executive session, please?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we are in executive. I think so we will not be returning to the meeting.